All right. So welcome to Building Safer, More Accountable Workplaces. Okay. Let me just see. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Hmm. Yes.
Okay, awesome. Um, so I'll start by just saying, who I am. Of course, again, welcoming you. So over the next 30 minutes, I'll walk you through some new coaching and strategy services that I've really been practicing over the course of my career and endeavoring into, but I built them to show you how you may be able to have your employer. I'll show you what they are, and then also talk you through how you may be able to have your employer pay for them, and then leave some time for questions. So this is meant to be a relaxed and useful session. So just settle in, and then please jot down any questions you might have as I'm going through this. Um, so again, I'll share a little bit about who I am, why I do this work, and then I'll walk you through the three offerings. And then, uh, and this is the part that that I really don't want you to miss is just kind of your employer's responsibility and obligation to you to provide you with benefits that are already yours. They're there for the taking. So we'll leave about 7 to 10 minutes for questions, and then I'll close with some simple next steps. So again, if a question comes up, hold on to it along the way. So let me first start by sharing, why I am doing this. For most of my career, I've been the person that institutions have trusted with their people. I served as a vice president at Wells Fargo Bank, as a director of workforce learning and development at JP Morgan Chase, as a human resources manager for the city and county of San Francisco, also as Director of Racial Equity at the San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency. And then at the Department of Health, I held two roles. One as the Deputy Director of the Office of Health Equity and Director of Workforce Equity Strategies and Programs. What ties all of that together is one through line for me: fair treatment, preventing harm, and how leaders respond when something goes wrong. I also serve as an expert legal witness. I am a continuing legal education provider with the California State Bar. I'm on the faculty at Mayo Clinic's medical school, and I've trained more than 400 leaders. I don't share any of this to impress you. I share because it means I've seen how these problems start and I've seen how they end. In a
I am
complaint,
back. Thank
would you say? Yeah, I've seen how they start and end. So, in a complaint, an investigation, or a courtroom. So, a little bit about why we're here, right? So, here's the truth about mistreatment, at work, workplace discrimination, and harassment. It rarely starts with a dramatic act. It starts small. And I remember being a part of a training on um, workplace bullying and harassment. And the facilitator started off saying, big problems start small, right? It starts typically with a pattern that gets missed, a complaint that gets mishandled, discipline applied unevenly, one standard for some people, another for others. Left unaddressed, those small moments become crises for the people who are harmed and for the organization that has to answer for them. And the hard part can sometimes be that by the time it's a lawsuit or a headline, the moment to prevent it has passed. It's passed typically, it's a long time ago that the initial problem set in. The good news, almost all of it is preventable. If leaders and employees have the skills and the language to catch it early, that's exactly what these services are built to do. Um, so, there are three strategies rather that I built to help you to do that. One, coaching for employees. Two, coaching for leaders, and group coaching and strategy for the whole leadership team. I'm introducing them one at a time, of course, but today I'm going to introduce you to all three separately. So, um, just give me one second. So the first is employee coaching. This is confidential, one-on-one support to help employees like yourselves understand their rights, recognize harm, including the subtle kind that's easy to second guess and respond safely, whether they're experiencing something themselves or standing up for a colleague. It's private. Nothing goes back to your employer without your consent. And sessions start at roughly 275 with a 3-month package and a monthly option as well. You can see here where it says monthly retainer. That's just typically a service where I'm available for not only the coaching sessions that you would get for the month, but also anytime you need to talk to me. So you would have my personal contact information. Although no one should abuse it. No. um, the second service is, I'm sorry, let me go back. So leadership coaching. This is the second service. This is for managers and executives who want to prevent harm, handle complaints without making them worse, and lead in a way that reduces legal and reputational risk. We work on recognizing problems early, holding accountability conversations, and applying discipline consistently and defensively. Sessions are roughly $425, and the 3-month intensive includes a 360-degree feedback assessment to start. The next one is group and strategy coaching, group coaching for leadership in executive teams. Um, some risks can't be solved one person at a time. They live in how a team makes decisions together. So we bring the team into one room to align on the facts, surface patterns without blame, decide on a real policy and accountability shift, and leave with commitments that can be measured. These are priced per working session, starting at $5,000, which for a full leadership team is remarkably efficient, is a remarkably efficient way to move the whole group at once. So now for funding. So a lot of people assume they'd have to pay for this type of service out of their own pocket. Very often, you don't. Okay. Many employers offer annual tuition reimbursement or professional development funds, and coaching and professional development frequently qualify. In fact, under a provision of the tax code called Section 127, your employer can provide up to $5,250 a year tax-free toward this kind of development. And that limit is confirmed both for tax year 2025 and 2026. Now, every employer's plan is different, so you'll want to confirm what qualifies for your HR or benefits team. I'm giving you roughly, general information here, not tax advice. But for a lot of you, this could be partly or even fully covered. It's worth checking before you assume it's out of reach. So, go to your contact. You can either contact your HR supervisor, or I know at the city and county in San Francisco, there is a website for those of you who are from the city and county. So how to access your allotment. Again, just a quick review. Um, One, check your benefits or HR portal for tuition reimbursement or professional development. Two, confirm what qualifies and whether you need pre-approval. Three, if you need pre-approval, get it in writing. Four, request an itemized invoice from me, and I'll also give you a short description of services for your approval form. Or you can use the description that's on the website. Five, submit for reimbursement, and then make sure you keep your receipts. I really try to make my side of this as easy as possible because I'd rather your employer's dollars do the work. um, so let me just see. Okay, so I have some questions for you, and I'd love for you to either jot down questions for yourselves just in note form, or you can write your answers in the chat. So one, what's one workplace situation you wish had been handled differently? And I'll give you roughly 30, probably a minute to respond. We have some time. So what's one workplace situation you you wish had been handled differently? Um, and then the second question, where does your team feel most at risk? Hiring, discipline, complaints, or culture? Mm, mhm. And then three, um, yeah, what would a safe and accountable workplace look like for you? And then which of the three offerings meets a need you have right now, potentially? Yeah, I see that, Latrice. Yeah. Yep, I agree. A safe and accountable workplace to me is transparency and communication. Absolutely. Um, yeah, where colleagues can talk to each other and express opinion without fear that some will take back the information to management. Hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna come off here. All right. So what questions do you have for me? What questions can I answer for you? You can feel free to come off mute and come on the screen. Hey, Jermel.
Hey Dante. I know that tuition reimbursement is pretty tough at the city given, it's a finite amount and it's kind of first come, first served. I was thinking with the payment or obviously I believe that your payment, it's worth it, valuable. Would there be options for the coaching where they could say like a 2 month one instead of having it like back to back? Like how would like that type of singular coaching, is that a possibility or is it kind of just like a doctor's visit where you have to do it, simultaneous or not simultaneous, but consecutively?
No, you can definitely have one-offs, which is you would just book through my website at danteking.com under the services menu, and you can see, and it'll give you the option to book, I believe. just one session. I can double check that, but what I would tell you is I timed this session exactly for the initial um, kind of statement that you made because the tuition reimbursement allotment in terms of the budget is released the second week of August. So if you go in there and you fill out the form to allocate your tuition allotment to be used for this, or for a training or another purpose that you have lined up, it will typically get approved. Most requests that are submitted, I would say within the month of August, September, maybe October, are approved. Not a lot of people know that they should access that portal at the second week of August when the funds are released. But when you go in there, you'll be able to submit your request. Again, if it's submitted in August, you have like almost a 100% chance it's going to be approved. September, I would say 95% chance. October, say probably 80 to 90% chance. And that's really how it works. Some people would try to access it in like January, February. By that time, it is too late, and they're already prepping for the next fiscal year. Was that helpful, Jermel?
As always, Dante. Thank you.
Okay, absolutely. DeAndre,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, sir. How are you?
Man, I won't complain. I can't complain. But quick question, in terms of the tuition reimbursement, I understand that that's related to folks that are in the union. Is that correct?
For represented employees, yes, it's attached
Yeah.
to each
So
MOU.
so for those that aren't, I know I know there's some things around folks that aren't because I know for me I withdrew from the union for my own reasons, but I won't be eligible for those funds. But is there an alternative that we can go to kind of
So are you civil service?
I am.
So whichever union your position is tied to, whether or not you are a dues paying member, you are still represented.
Yeah, I know that, but in terms
Yeah.
of the tuition reimbursement and stuff, I won't be eligible for that
Why not?
because I don't pay dues.
Oh, is that how that works? I thought you were still represented.
Yeah, for like disciplinary actions or anything like that, I'll still be represented by the union. But in terms, because that's a added benefit that if you're not paying dues, you won't have access to.
Hmm. Have you
That's
tried?
what I was informed. Yeah, that's what I was informed of.
Who informed you of that?
I had asked the question about that for
So
in regards to the union.
you asked it directly to the union?
Correct.
Oh, that's interesting. So I wasn't aware of that. I thought that you were still represented under under the MOU, under the contract, which would mean that you would still have access to the benefits that come along with that contract. Have
No,
you?
we're still represented, but like I'm like if I was to get into any disciplinary actions or any things like that, I would be represented by the union. But this is a separate type of thing for
Benefit?
union paying members. So
Got
just
it.
a heads up for folks that don't know.
Interesting. Interesting, because I thought all city and county employees were, because it really is a benefit of the employer. And although it does have to be signed off by the union, you can still go to your manager and see if your manager would support you in getting an allotment. They should. But I would also, I mean, if you have not tried to go through that process to have like a tuition allotment set aside for you, I would still go through that process and see what management says.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what I could find out. But you said the second week, but I know in previous conversations they said if you're not a union paying member that you wouldn't have access to it.
Oh, you can go on the portal. That's not going to
Okay.
be because it's by your DSW number, Jermel.
Yeah, Trey, I dropped I'll drop the little thing in there and see. It's in the chat, but see if you could even enter that portal and see if you can try to see if you could try to do an expense auth. Your manager will have to approve, but I believe, echoing Dante, if your manager approves, and then especially too with that tax code that he had put, there is an allotment by law for you that shouldn't hinder you, whether
Right.
you're part of a union or not. I would believe that the union benefit would add to that um, legislation requirement. But yeah, I would. That's just my 2 cents.
Absolutely,
No, I appreciate it.
for sure. So I'm also going to drop the link to these services. And I would also ask if you all can just email it to about, 10 to 20 employees who may be in your network. Um, I'll keep you on the list, or you should receive rather another email because there are two more sessions like this scheduled for next week. And just do a blast, send it to, employees that you know, especially in the affinity groups, people that you know might need support. I advocated for employees. Brenda Barrett, I see her on here. She can tell you I advocated for employees. She and I advocated together for a number of years while I was at the city and county of San Francisco. And having support in this way can pay off because what I'm also willing to do is even reach out on behalf of employees to management in supporting them and addressing situations when things are not moving in a fair manner that is consistent with their rights as employees. That's very important. And a lot of people don't have that type of support. They don't have the language many times. They don't have the knowledge to know what their rights are and what employers should and should not be doing. So I will pause there. Any additional questions?
Yeah, I wanted to, ask you to take us back to the fees. Was it the one-on-one, consultation? Because many times I find myself in a position where people are asking for information and I feel like you would be the person, to help, guide people in those areas, especially when it comes to discipline, experiences of discrimination, bullying, and all that stuff. So I just want to go back to the first page. I think that's where there was one-on-one. The fees, was it 250? So I
Um,
can let people know.
it was 275.
275. Okay.
Yeah.
And how long is the session, you said?
Um, it's roughly an hour.
An hour. Okay.
Yeah. So, Brenda can tell you, my heart is really for people and people who are in the labor class, not necessarily executive management and leadership, because they get to benefit from a whole lot of unwritten privileges and perks that those are who are in contributor roles, even in lower level supervisory role, lower level management roles, do not get to benefit of. And we know that the disparities increase significantly for non-white employees and most severely for Black employees. So, this is where my heart is, and I just wanted to extend some of my expertise and resources to continue to help people. So, any other questions before I close?
Dante, would it be possible to utilize the 2 extra minutes? I just have a quick question regarding something outside of this training.
Oh,
Or no?
sure.
Okay.
Sure. So you're saying you want to stay on, after for a,
Yes, if possible. Yeah,
yeah,
literally a minute. Yeah.
for sure.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, let me go back here and then. Oh, wait a minute. Ah, okay. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So as I mentioned, I'm hosting 3 sessions, um, you know, and you can spread the word for people to contact me to directly. They can go to danteking.com/contact and contact me through the site. They can review the services at danteking.com/services. Um, and if today, wasn't the right moment, but someone this could help and benefit, please pass it along, as Josephine just mentioned. So thank you again for your time and for your trust. This is the work that I've done at every level of my career, and I'd be honored to do it with you. The work continues. So thank you, and please provide the information to folks about the session that will be held Tuesday, July 28th. That's at 1 p.m. And then Thursday, July 30th, that's at 11 a.m. Um, so thank you.